Hello everyone, welcome to For His Namesake. We are certainly glad that you have joined us today. We will be talking about the idols that we cling to. And I will begin with, this is actually the second commandment, so I'm going to read from Exodus chapter 10, verses 4 and 5. And I'm using the New King James Version. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. And we will just kind of name off some different idols that we have seen people idolize. And it's not necessary. I thought that idols specifically were what we just read, which is a carved image like a doll or a statue or something. But then I learned an idol can be anything that we obsess over or adore too much. Anything that we adore so much more than God is an idol. And so we're just going to kind of pop out some different things that are considered to be idols, and you may have some on your own that you know of, and if you do, be sure to list them down below in your comments. And if you want to confess to anything that you idolize, or that you have a carved image of, or that you've just kind of adored just a little bit too much, and you don't mind sharing that, that's fine too. And if you don't want to share, that's fine too. But we just wanted to kind of, we just felt like this is what God wanted us to talk about today. So I'm going to let Valentine share some of the things that she's come up with.
Well, one thing that we can idolize is worry. Just plain worry. If we're not fully trusting God, and all you can think about is the what-ifs of this world, and that you obsess over worrying, then that is an idol. And Jesus says in Matthew chapter 6, therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? And he talks about how the birds are provided for, and the grass, the flowers. So therefore do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For after all these things the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. He talks about seeking first the kingdom of God. So,
Okay.
worry.
That's a good one. You can pick up your notebook if you like, and we're not going to do it. We're just going to leave that in there. So these are just things that happen. Okay. I guess I'll name one, and I guess we'll kind of take turns. Is that kind of what we can do, I guess? Another would be collections of things. Now, there's nothing wrong with collecting things, like if you collect shells or if you collect stamps, that's fine. But when it becomes your idol, that's all you think about, that's all you dream about, that's all you discuss, that's all you're driving down the road and you're thinking about your shells, or you're thinking about your stamps, or you're thinking about whatever it is, or you have an obsession of it throughout your house. For example, if you collect something, like I knew a lady once who, I didn't know her personally, but I knew her through my husband's place of employment, and she collected turtles. She loved everything turtles. So when you walk into her house, on the doormat is a picture of a doormat turtle. Then on the door it would say welcome, and it would have a turtle. Then you go inside, and then there'll be another little like a statue made out of metal that was a turtle. You go out into the yard and everything's turtles everywhere. You would think you were in Turtle Land. And then you go inside and the plates all have pictures of turtles on them. And you get the picture. Everything's turtles. That's going too far. That's an obsession. That's an idol. This person was idolizing turtles. There's nothing wrong with liking turtles and having a few turtle designs, but that's just going too far. That's really putting that above God. So there's an example of obsessing over collections of things. Another one with collections would be cars. We knew somebody who collected old-timey cars, and they would say, this is my baby. These are my babies. It was an elderly gentleman, and he said, these are my babies, and I like to work on them and then kind of show them off to people when I'm done working on them. But he would just keep them in a special garage, and if we walked too close, he'd say, don't touch it, don't touch. Just look, don't touch. I would think that would be an idol, idolizing the cars just a little bit too much. So, if you want to name some more.
Another one would be sports.
You men are not going to like that one too much.
And in the States, particularly, I would say football. I don't know in your country what the main sport would be, but I've been to high school before, and let me tell you, they were crazy about the sports this, sports that, and I felt sorry for the team players because if they didn't do right, everyone in school would hear about it. That's how obsessed they were, and the parents screaming. That's another thing, parents scream too much at the game, so that's an idol in itself. It's okay to have fun and play competitive, although I don't know, I'm not really a sports person generally. I don't mind watching every now and then tennis, and that's about it. But even then, if they're like getting mean with each other, then it's not really a game anymore. They're idolizing over winning.
Right. Yeah. And the same with, and I'm sorry if I'm going to step on some toes here as far as men who love to watch football to an extent of it becoming your life, so to speak. That's when football season is there, that's all you're thinking. You're driving down the road, you're thinking about the game, you're obsessing over, you got to hurry up, you got to get out of church early so that you don't want to miss the game that happened to be playing on Sunday. I mean, the list goes on. It just becomes an obsession. That's all you're thinking about. You're reading about it. You can't wait to watch it. You're thinking about it while you're at church. You're thinking about, oh gosh, I wonder how the game went. I wonder how it's going to go tonight. Or, that's definitely not the place to be thinking about a sport or something that you love while you're sitting in the house of God, for example. That is then definitely an idol, that you have allowed it to become an idol to yourself. So there's nothing wrong with sports. We're not saying you can't watch sports. It's not a good thing to watch sports. We're just saying there's a balance, folks. There's a balance. And we're talking to all of us here. There's a balance in everything. Don't make an extreme. Don't idolize it. So, okay. So we've got sports. We've got collections of things. And I guess cars would be the same thing as collection. And
I would say social media could be an idol. YouTube, Instagram, whatever platform you like to go on. I would say before the homeless journey especially, I was pretty addicted to my phone or my laptop and going on YouTube in the midst of my chores. But I'm very grateful that we had this ministry, so I usually only use it for the ministry, or later on, it's okay to see your friends' YouTube channels. I have friends who have YouTube channels, so I do check out their channels as a way to support them, and they're Christian and godly, so I feel comfortable watching them, but I'm not watching that like 24/7, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's good. Another one is, of course, the love of money. Excuse me. The love of money. And I don't know the reference, but I'm sure Valentine's got it written down, but
it's First Timothy 6:10.
Yes. So we all know 1 Timothy 6:10.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one I'm about to quote, which is the love of money is the root of all evil.
Kinds of evil, yeah.
Not money itself is not the root of all evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil. A lot of crime, not a lot, but some crime is involved with money. People stealing things because they want your car, or they want something in your home. They're obsessed with money.
So that they can obsess over things that we just talked about.
Right, exactly. I mean, I hate to use a bad example, but some people they just have a lot of money, and it seems like they need to always buy something new. Something like, I knew someone once, they had to get the newest car that just came out, and I think the thing with cars is that, let's say this year's 2025, so then they would already be thinking about the car that would be coming out the following year, 2026, and so forth. So they're just obsessing over it. They're already doing research on it. They've already got their money lined up and then they can't wait to show off to all their friends. Look, I got the brand new car, hot off the market. You know, and they're obsessing over the beauty of it inside and outside of the vehicle, and then taking it for a drive, and then they're done with that one, and then they move on with the next one. These are people that have a lot of money. I just feel like you're idolizing not only money, you're idolizing cars, materialistic things, taking it to an extreme. I mean, people don't need 5 cars, for example. Or we don't even need 3 cars, really, unless you're a large family and each one has their own car. But I'm talking about people that it's one person and they have several cars for themselves. That's just going too far. Yeah.
And on that note, with collections and things, I do have a verse for that. From Matthew chapter 6, starting verse 19. Jesus said, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal." Like those expensive things that these are going to get to. And things are temporary anyway. It's not going to last. Books fade. The phone that you thought was new is no longer new anymore. Now it's an old phone. Clothes fade. Trends go. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And I hope our treasure is Jesus, because our heart should always be with Him. And I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah.
As we do in every video.
Yeah. And I also want to mention another something people can idolize, believe it or not, is artwork. Paintings. Now, there's nothing wrong with artwork. There's nothing wrong with paintings. For example, where we live, we have a small art gallery here where we have some local artists, and they will have their paintings displayed on the walls of a art gallery here in town. It's not very large, and a lot of people will come and admire their paintings, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't let that become an idol, is what we're trying to say. And here's a good example. We live in Texas, and in I want to say it was in Dallas. I could be wrong, but there was a very famous art gallery there. It was a biblically based art gallery there in Dallas, and it was very fancy. The outside of the building was okay, but the inside, you could tell they went into a lot of work. I mean, velvet carpets, it looked like it. They had these dividers that were made out of those velvet ropes to kind of keep people from touching the paintings. There was a very fancy indoor theater that they had there, where they did a puppet show for the children. Like life-size puppets. We're talking where the people were dressed inside the costume kind of thing, and did like a Noah's Ark play. But it was very fancy, and everything looked like it had like gold-plated poles where the ropes were on, and then like the walkways, everything was very, very elegant looking in there. And then the paintings themselves were all in very fancy frames, very nice glass coverings. And of course, we were not allowed to touch that, of course. That's why there were these dividers with the fancy velvet ropes put up. But people just oohed and awed just a little bit too much over there. Every time I'd go in there, and it wasn't very often, I went on there on a tour one time, and then another time I went there with my family just to be on our own. And because a tour, you're kind of like, you have to keep moving with the group of people, keep moving to the next painting, that kind of thing, and you feel rushed. So then we did it on our own. But the whole time I was there, I kept thinking and I just kind of kept my thoughts to myself. But while I was there, I kept thinking, everybody seems to be obsessing over the building, the inside of the building, and how beautiful the walls are, and the floor, and the dividers that were keeping the paintings aside, and the frames that the paintings were in. And people would just stand and stare what seemed for an eternity. Oh, isn't that a beautiful frame? Can you imagine how much that must have cost? Look at that. That looked like that's gold plated there. And they were just idolizing the painting. I think they're idolizing more what the painting came in rather than the painting itself. And I just kept thinking all that time while I was there, I wonder what God thinks of this place. I would always ask, God, are you okay with this place? They've just kind of forgotten the story, the paintings depicting your story, and they're concentrating on how the painting was made, what the painting is sitting in, and the display on which it's, because some of them were on like a platform, and oohing and eyeing over the platform. And Lord, how does this make you feel? I mean, if I were you, God, I would just absolutely hate it. And so, I don't know, after a couple of years after me talking to God about that, would you believe the whole place burned down? I see that as God getting people's attention. Don't worship buildings, don't worship paintings, don't worship platforms and what the painting is sitting in, or don't even worship the painting. Worship me. I feel like that was a wake-up call, and no one really saw it that way. Of course, the newspaper, they'll put in something else. They won't mention anything about that was God trying to get anyone's attention, but that's what I sincerely believe, that God was getting people's attention and saying, I want you to stop idolizing this building and all that it has in it. So that's, I'm sorry to go on and on about that, but that there's an example right there of people that had idolized something just a little bit too much. Yeah.
Because as it says in Mark 12, verse 30, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. So they were not loving God with all of themselves.
Exactly. Oh, and then you mentioned like YouTube stuff. Would you believe that you can actually idolize shorts videos? You know, that those shorts videos, they go kind of like in a circle. They just keep going. You flip one and you go to the next and you go to the next and you go to the next, and you can spend hours doing that. And one time, you know, I saw somebody keep looking at a shorts video. I'm just going to give my husband as an example. I'm sure he doesn't mind, but when we lived in a house, when shorts videos were just starting to come out, it seemed, my husband would look at a shorts video and he would look one after another and one after another and one after another, and I would talk to him and have a regular conversation with him, and I thought he was listening because he'd say, yes dear, what do you need? And then I said, well, I need this and this, blah 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 blah, and he go, yeah, and he keep going, and I thought maybe he could listen to me. He wasn't listening to me, and when I finally needed an actual answer to what I had just asked him, he just kept looking at the shorts video, and I said, Mike, do you know that I'm talking to you? I need an answer to this. And he goes, what? So that's an example of idolizing over these shorts videos. It's okay to watch shorts videos. Just don't let it become your God. Don't let it become an idol where the rest of the world keeps going and you're going like that hamster in that, you know, the hamsters, they think they're going places, but they're just going round and round and round in that little wheel that's turning, and that's how the shorts videos are set up. And you can spend hours on that. And yeah, that's just going too much. Going too far, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you need to add any more? Because we're gonna start getting into some that we're gonna share of our own idols if we wanted to share some of our own.
I'm not bad. I think I already mentioned mine, which was social media. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be, but yeah, from time to time I still do. Maybe spend too much time on my phone. You know, phones are so easy to pick up. And back when we did have a house, you know, it was not too far from my bed, so when you wake up, there's the phone, when I should have been going to my Bible first thing. And one day I know I was convicted after, I think I was listening to a podcast or something, and then I started to pick up the Bible first thing instead, which really helped start my day right with the Lord.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a confession to make. Something that y'all don't know about me is that I have an idol. I love to watch when I'm not doing the ministry, which is quite a bit. We spend a lot of time in the ministry, quite a bit. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I would want to put God first before I do anything else. That's for sure. But whenever I do have free time for me time, and that almost sounds selfish actually when I say me time. That's just my own convictions. But when I do have that me time and alone time for myself, I will spend quite a bit of time watching. There's two kinds. There's the slime videos. I love slime. You know, that gooey stuff that people gross out. Valentine grosses out. She does not like that. But I love it. I love it. And I have one that I follow religiously. I hate to say this, if I can use that term, but I do. And I think I'm her top commenter. I'm always leaving comments almost every day for her slime videos. And she has something million subscribers. So, but anyway, I can just practically binge watch that. And then I also watch what's called ASMR videos. And I know that's a worldly thing. That's not a Christian thing. But since there's no talking, I don't have to worry about any bad language. I never look at the comments, so I don't have to worry about that. I just give my own comment and move on. But I'm mainly there watching, and to me it's relaxing. After a stressful day, I can just listen to the, the soap crumbling in someone's hands, or you can hear like starch popping and whatnot. Believe it or not, I love that. Those videos are idols to me. I need to be careful. I really do. I need to be careful that I don't idolize it. It's okay to come and watch them, but don't obsess over them. I can do that. That's a tendency that I have, especially with the slime videos. So there you have it. It's out in the open now. So anyway, I think that's, unless we had something else to share.
I would just say, I'm not saying that everything is an idol, like we just said, only if you obsess over it, because there are some good things, like the ministry. But again, if we idolize over the ministry instead of God himself, then the ministry can become an idol too. So it's important for me to put my mind in check, like, Lord, I am doing this for you, not for me. It's not so I could look great in front of you guys. I really want my heart to be in the right place and to hopefully encourage you guys with these talks and stuff. We do pray about the videos. And so we're very grateful to God for even making this possible.
Yeah. Yep. Everything we do for him, because that's why this channel is called for his namesake. So it's up to God what he does with this channel. It's not our channel. That's why a lot of times when I reply to y'all's comments, I'll try not to say thank you for visiting our channel, because I don't feel like it's our channel. I'll usually say thank you for visiting the channel. That's what I try to say, because I don't want to get in that habit of saying it's ours. Nothing in life is ours, really, if we think about it. It's all belongs to God, and he can give it just as quickly as he can take it from us. Especially when we do idolize things, then it's easy, then he will get our attention. So yeah, I guess a ministry could become an idol, but right now it's not to me. I feel like it is truly a job for me. Since I don't work outside the home, this is my job. And I have the greatest boss. God is my boss. So, and I'd rather have him than anyone else. And I'm not saying that getting a job is a bad thing. Of course we need jobs. But right now, this is my job. And I'm working for him. And Valentine's working for him. And Mike's working for him. And until God has other plans. This is our ministry. And it's also our place of employment right now. And I actually enjoy it. It's fun. It has its challenges, but it's also a lot of fun. So anyway, I guess that's what we have to say and share today. So if you have any idols or anything that you idolize, even some of our thoughts, like we mentioned in the beginning of the video, worrying too much, that can become your idol. If you have any and you wouldn't mind sharing them with us, be sure to put them down in the comments below. And if you don't want to share, that's fine too, because that is a personal thing between you and God. And if you don't want to share that, that's fine too.
Or you're welcome to send us an email if you rather be more personable.
Yeah.
We love to pray for you that way as well.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
okay.
We hope that you like this video, and if you would, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell because that does let you know anytime a video comes out. And Lord willing, we do put one out every day. And we hope that you have a blessed day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.